Welcome to the show! Trouble with Words, episode 138, I think.
Yeah, 138 sounds right to me.
Pretty sure.
Man, I feel like you broke some sound
with your
barriers
host,
there. That was a little intense.
Joshua LeMay, that's Josh.
That's me.
And Justin Morse. I'm Justin. Hey,
or
welcome.
Broshua, as people like to call me.
I prefer Broshua.
Really? That sounds like a sausage, which I guess fits.
Yeah.
Oh, the sadness.
It's like, hey, brah.
Hey.
Broshua.
Bruh.
Broshua. I don't know. They both work.
Yeah, I guess. Neither works, really, if we're being honest. Hey, Justin, how you doing?
I'm good, friend. How are you?
I am good, friend. I'm glad that you are well. Here we are recording an episode. That's exciting.
We're gonna play some Destiny. We're gonna play some friggin' Forsaken up in this bitch.
Yeah, wow, that's exactly what's gonna happen. I don't know that I would have said it that way because I think that felt almost angry. You seemed angry about it.
Yeah, I'm real angry about everything.
Oh,
that's not true. I don't know what's happening. We're gonna play some Gambit, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna play some Gambit. New mode in Forsaken. If you are not familiar with it, it's incredibly hard to explain, and I'm not even going to try. Maybe Justin wants to.
All right.
But
no,
seems,
sure don't.
It seems real
but I'll
hard.
try.
But yeah, Gambit is hard and complicated, and we're going to try to play this complicated mode while we're talking about stuff, because this is another episode of Stream of Consciousness, and we are going to get into it, buddy.
So what's Stream of Consciousness? Tell me about it.
Oh, it's like a thing we do as a part of this show, A Trouble with Words. Sort of, what's the best way to describe these like one-offs? Not one-offs. There's like a term that I think best describes it, and my brain has just suddenly turned off, and I can't think of the term. But we have like these reoccurring types of episodes we do. That segments. Yeah, I think a segment.
That's
is a
not
good
right.
name. That's close. And we focus on certain things, and this Stream of Consciousness is where we play games, we stream gaming, and we talk about current events. And we don't do that on the regular show very much, but I think it's important to occasionally touch on it. And I don't want to just do it straight, because I'd rather be playing video games, because all that stuff is super depressing, and video games make me feel good. So maybe there's a way to balance it out, and I figured that was it. So that's what we do here on Stream of Consciousness episodes. We have other ones to give examples, but yeah, this is different.
Yeah, well, I just want to say, it's funny because I think the last time we did this, we talked a little about current events, and I think at the time I talked about how depressing the current news cycle was, in the constant state of misery.
Yeah.
And since then,
it's all better. It's gotten all better.
Pretty much. Well, no, it hasn't. But I've pretty much given up on Twitter as a news source. So consequently, I feel like maybe I'm not as well informed as I have been, because I'm not getting the constant stream of information.
Sure.
But I will say, I was going to say I'm a lot happier as a result. I don't know if that's true, but I'm less miserable for sure.
Okay, that's an interesting distinction. This is Gambit, by the way.
Mavericks.
This guy is my favorite new character.
Scorn approaching.
Yeah, he's got some magic fingers. What's he doing there?
Yeah, just showing off.
What's that mean?
He's just showing off.
Oh.
Kind of a side note, not to get off track, but I love the way this starts, where you're facing down the enemy team. You're both in like these locked, kind of shielded rooms. He's in the center, and then he teleports you, and you both are doing the same thing at the same time. But it's like a race to see who does it better. That's all I'll give you now.
It's a race?
You can figure it out as we go. But by the way,
I hope I win.
Back to what we were just saying, I have, if anything, doubled down on Twitter since you've given it up. I have been doing so much Twitter. I don't go to Facebook at all anymore. I'm exclusively a Twitter person, and I really like Twitter a lot. And I know it gets a lot of crap for being kind of toxic, which is certainly true, because there's always that group in everything, I feel like. But I don't know. I really like it. I find it informative. I find it a great way to express the thoughts you have in a very easy, small, digestible way. You're limited to a very small amount of characters. And it's not as good with you gone. So upsettingly, you leaving Twitter has made it kind of oddly, less enjoyable for me. Like there's less positive in Twitter now.
That's kind of you.
No, it's true. I mean, you're hanging out with your friends as far as anything like Twitter is one of the high points. And now I don't get I get less jokes, less fun because you're not there, which is sad. But I do feel informed and I do like it a lot. And I'll probably never give it up. I hope that you maybe go back one day. But I also understand why you didn't. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. Because, let's be honest, Twitter is filled with constant downers of stories. But I feel strongly that in this day and age, those things are happening, and I refuse to be ignorant to them or blind to them. And I feel like you have to just fight back more now than ever. And awareness is the biggest way to do that.
Power through.
Well, yeah, right? I don't know. Even Trump refers to anyone who talks against him as a resistance, which I find to be kind of, I don't know, kind of an odd choice for him to do that, but that's how I feel about it. I do feel like it is a resistance of sorts. We're resisting against a pretty awful time in history, and bad things are happening every day. And if it becomes white noise, pardon the expression, then I feel like then you're not aware and you're not doing anything to change it. I guess if that makes sense. Because what am I doing in the world at all that's positive right now? Nothing. Like, not really. All I do is, you go to work, go home, I play video games. I'm not doing anything to really change anything for the better. I just died again.
I'll say.
Ow. But tweeting feels, I don't know, like maybe it matters a little. Or it's like a way to pretend that it does. That's probably more accurate.
I mean, yeah, I think it's, not to take anything away from you, but I think it's literally the least you could do.
Yeah.
Like it's not even, I wouldn't even say it's activism. It's like faux activism.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean that, like, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but like, I feel like if anything, it's a false sense of activism, because it, like you said, it doesn't really matter.
Right, no, it's screaming into the void, I think you've called it before, and there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to pretend that's not accurate, but it is nice to, like, to hear other voices screaming similar things into the same void. Yeah, and even if it's just, I don't know, yeah, that other voices thing, that kind of nails it for me. That's a big part of what it is, because sometimes it's good to know that there are other people that can see what you're seeing, I guess. Especially if it seems like it's insanity that's happening. I don't know. I guess I want to just know that I'm not the wrong and crazy one as much as I can. That even's misleading a little bit. It's complicated. But it does bring up current events, which are common, and there are lots of them. And it does allow for us to discuss those current events. And one big current event that's happening right now, that is kind of the biggest of news, is somebody currently is up to be added to the Supreme Court. Is nominated, gone through the steps. Brett Kavanaugh is his name, to become the next Supreme Court judge.
Sorry, not to interrupt you when you're trying to talk about important things, but I invaded and I killed a Guardian.
Oh, nice. Well done.
That's the first time I did that.
I wish I had seen that. I wish we could see that on screen, because that's a big accomplishment, I think. I have been playing, by the way, Gambit real bad. Maybe the worst I've ever played it. I have died and lost so many motes since we've been playing.
Is it because you're distracted?
I'd like to blame it on that. I think that that's a fair assessment. I know that I play typically much better than this. I'm going to do better going forward. But I want to talk about this Supreme Court thing, because I feel like it's important, and I'm really curious to know if you're following it at all, or if your lack of Twitter involvement has meant, yeah.
So I've been following it because it's kind of impossible not to, even being away from the constant stream of Twitter, but maybe we should talk about this after we've talked about the initial thing. But the Saturday Night Live.
Oh man, yeah,
so good.
It was so good. You know, a lot of their cold opens fall a little bit short, I think, and like especially the political ones, they go a little long and they don't do the best job.
Man, what am I? I'm being pulled in by one of those things.
The traps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, our invader's dead.
You're nearly there. Fill the bank. Get that primeval up.
But yeah, so
At the garden.
I think the most frustrating part of any of this is again having to listen to other Republican members of the public talk about the issue and just come down so far on the wrong side of the point.
But they're outraged.
Over and over.
They seemingly are outraged anyway, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
Like they feel like people that are on the right side of it in their eyes. Like they really see that, like strongly. And I find that to be really interesting. Like, I don't get it though, I guess. Like they see a real injustice in even the attempt to dig in and have a normal proceeding for who should be the Supreme Court nominee, let alone these accusations and exploring them with any real respect to what they are. I don't know. I find that real confusing. Like specifically that one senator who I think of as a I don't know what his name is. I'm trying to blank on his name.
It's got to be Lindsey Graham.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's Lindsey Graham. Yeah, it's Lindsey Graham, who just went absolutely off on
just a friggin' lunatic.
Yeah, I mean, and he did that. He did that speech like something out of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington kind of thing. Of like he was on this like righteous comment, righteous thing to be saying.
Yeah,
and I didn't get it. I just still don't get it. But it feels like it might be fake. All of it feels so disingenuous in another way. And I constantly struggle with, am I being in any way biased? Am I seeing things not as they are? Am I kind of, towing a party line without being open to the views that they're sharing? So it's a worry. I mean, just enough of one to make sure that I'm being honest with myself. And
yeah.
So I think it's important to look at that. I think it's important to always be reflecting on that, always trying to take in as much information and to actually listen when the other side, as it were, which in this case I'm very much liberal.
It turns out I lied.
How so?
By the way. It said I had 0 Guardians defeated, so I read that wrong.
Oh.
My bad.
Oh, that's sad. I kind of wish you hadn't.
Yeah. I could have just left it alone, but I wanted to be honest.
Hey, doesn't that speak to a lot of what we're talking about right now? Feels like it does.
Yeah.
Feels like there's something there.
Because Lindsey Graham would have said that he killed him, even though he didn't.
Yeah. I think Lindsey Graham's taken a lot of credit for a lot of kills that he didn't do.
Or more closer to the to what's been going on. If I had been Brett Kavanaugh, I would have said that I made the kill, and if you were Lindsey Graham, you would have said you had video evidence that I made the kill.
Yep. Yeah. Or that you're a good man and you made the kill based on just nothing. Just on nothing.
You just dropped a taken on the other side.
Also, everything is being so pushed forward so fast. Like, really fast. And that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing that makes me realize there's no scenario that I am being biased here because there's a rush. Why would there be a rush otherwise? A fair thing would be to not have that, and that's not what's happening. And I think that's objectively true. I really do believe that if they wanted somebody to be brought in like the most, not just consistent with how the values have always been established, but also the truest to what should happen by what's right and wrong, then they would take their time. They would do a thorough everything. And they're not. They're not
100%,
sharing information.
yeah.
They're pushing everything forward. It's all just very bad. It's very bad. Justin, it's very bad.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree, and it's really frustrating because the other thing you hear from a lot of Republicans is about how duplicitous it is of Democrats to be attempting to block this nomination.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, duplicitous? Are you kidding me? Like, it's really frustrating.
Well, what about what's happened historically? When you think about other...
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, who are you calling duplicitous?
Right.
Like Mitch McConnell said one of his proudest moments as a Republican or as Senate Majority Leader was looking Obama in the eyes and telling him that he wouldn't get to nominate, or any nomination he put forward would be denied.
Yeah.
Like, and then they're bitching about Kavanaugh.
I mean, that's the thing is the Supreme Court should be above anything to do with party lines. The whole thing about our system that works, or it's a semblance of working, is that people in the Supreme Court are objective, that they're not making decisions based on politics. They're making them based on established law and other things, you know? And that's not happening here, and it hasn't happened before, and it's all kind of a big sham. But this is the most blatant it's ever been. This and the blocking of the nomination before. There's just no sense of, I don't want to say fairness, I guess, or that ideal.
Yeah,
There's no sense of that ideal.
It seems really unfair.
Yeah. Yeah, because it really is. I think that's why it seems that way. It really is. And yeah, I'm not going to pretend that the Democrats aren't almost desperate to get rid of that judge nomination. Like there's a real concern that he will undo some major laws that are strongly rooted in the values of Democrats. Things like a right to choose and things that will go away, like potentially permanently or for another 35 years if he becomes a judge. I mean, it's terrifying. So that's a real thing. And so, yeah, the Democrats are motivated to stop this with not a lot of power to do it. So I can get why there's a mentality on the Republican side that this is all, well, for lack of a better way to say it, bullshit. That this is all Democrats coming up with some last-ditch effort, not based on any reality, and that these people that are making these accusations are not valid. I mean, I can see how they can get there, especially when you have propaganda feeding that mentality. And of course you would. It needs to exist. Things like Fox News need to be giving people that impression because so much depends on it for them. But I think, genuinely, all of that said, you can objectively see what's happening here if you just truly separate yourself from what either party wants and just look at what makes the most sense logically. It is clear to me that these accusations are real. Aside from just believing the accuser just from the get-go, because that has never happened and that's the right thing to do. There's a lot of pushback on that because it feels like anyone who's ever accused of anything is guilty out of the gate, and that doesn't feel right. And I get it. I get why that feeling is true. I get that. But I also think that's not happening here, and I think that you could come to that same conclusion, not you, but I mean whoever's listening, whoever's really looking at it. There are reasons to believe that this is accurate. Things like when the accusations were made is big. Things like how they were made, meaning who else was included in that. It would be stupid to make an accusation and put somebody else in the room that would do nothing but correlate the other person's story. But that's what's being done.
Yeah.
There's so many reasons. Like they made that accusation before he was the nominee for the Supreme Court. They made that early. They made that when he was on the list, on the short list. They were just saying choose another Republican. So there's a real question of why won't they do that? Why did they push forward knowing that information? Why did they have that list of 30 or 65 women ready to go to speak to his character immediately in response to that accusation? Because they were aware and because they want him on the court. So why? That's the question.
I mean, I think part of the why is because they know he's gonna do what they want him to. Like they've got basically this guy handpicked to do the devil's dirty work, if you will. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that's not fair to him as a human being, but I mean,
or even to the Republicans as a group, maybe you could argue, calling them the devil, which is essentially what you're doing. I'm just saying.
But they are, though. We can agree, right?
I mean, the irony being that they're the ones who believe in God above all else and act the opposite.
Right.
I can't get over that part more than anything. How could anybody support the people that they support believing the things they believe? I don't understand it.
Doesn't make it. That's the thing, right? I mean, that drives me crazy. I don't understand it at all.
I truly don't, and that's not even for a lack of wanting to. Like, I've tried to make sense out of it. I want to make sense out of it. I cannot make sense out of it. So, yeah. I need 2 more modes, 1 more mode of light, and I got 15. 1 more.
Oh, and I just took 2 of them from you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't blame you. I mean, I do. Secretly. Oh, there's one. I'll take that and leave. Thank you kindly. So, oh, we got a blocker. Which I guess we had on the left. I mean, I don't know. But here's the problem. It's hard not to get worked up about this stuff. And then at the same time, immediately, like, I hear myself. I feel like I sound like a fucking conspiracy theorist. I feel like I sound like a crazy person.
Yeah.
And that's upsetting. Because there's a reason to feel that way. But at the same time, it's impossible to be impassionated about bullshit like this without sounding that way. And it makes it dismissive. It makes it easy to dismiss. I want to dismiss it. My gut instinct is to dismiss people that talk that way. So that's, I don't know. That's the most frustrating part. It's turning me into a crazy person.
So the other side of this whole issue, obviously, is you know, the Republicans that I've heard talking about this are saying, like, you know, this isn't a criminal trial. Why does he have to defend himself from these allegations, and like his reputation is damaged forever, and you know, yada yada yada.
Right.
And ignoring all of the allegations,
Right.
like just looking at how he handles himself and how during these hearings, what a belligerent dickhead he is.
Right?
Like, is this the character of the man that you want to put in the highest court in the country? I mean, I say no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. No, agreed. His coming in hot for his 45-minute statement. He was angry. He was spouting off. Oh yeah, speaking of sounding like a conspiracy theorist, he's talking about Clinton conspiracies. I mean, he sounds like an absolute loon, and that also gives a biasness to it. So he's already going in with this biasness towards another party, which is not supposed to exist in the Supreme Court. These are all red flags. He's also emotional, just on the very basic level. I don't want that guy in charge of the kind of things that you'd be in charge of at the Supreme Court.
We got a big blocker,
Oh,
by the way, if you want to help me take him
I
down.
believe in your ability to do it on your own.
He's a big boy. I don't think I can.
Hostiles incoming at the garden.
Okay. I'll do all the work, like always.
Oh yeah, you really did.
Although to be fair, I just used my super.
Yeah, I would have if I'd had one.
Oh, I got a new super. By the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you got your second one or third one?
My second one. My of the new 3 per character that they have. My warlock got his second one, where I teleport.
I was
around.
reading that the new mode. I forget what it's called. Starts with a C maybe or a B.
Yes, I can't remember the name of it either.
Starts with a letter.
Oh yeah, I remember the letter. There's a letter there for sure. I know what mode you're talking about.
There's one of the letters it starts with, yeah. But I've heard that the one of the random drops that happens, I guess pretty regularly, or has been happening pretty regularly, is the third thing you need to get your. I forget what it's called. I realize all of this chatter is useless to anybody that doesn't know about the game.
Yeah, so there are like superpowers, and you can get new ones in the new DLC. And I just got my second. I can't remember what it's called, either Seed of Light or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the new mode called though? Like Behemoth or Catastrophe or Contagion or?
Keep going. This is fun for me. I mean,
it's a word. I know it's a word.
Any one of those. All of those sound just as valid to me. Really? Is there another blocker? Where is he? Oh.
threw my hammer and I lost it.
Anyway, that's all I want to talk about politics. I've said my share. I get worked up. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I really hope that in the end they treat these accusations legitimately, and that's all. They could even end up putting another Republican in and ruining it for everybody in all the ways we were afraid of. But I just hope that they're honest about this.
I'd like it not to be somebody who's such a lunatic. I mean, maybe he's being judged unfairly, sure, but like you can't look at somebody like Ruth Bader Ginsburg and how, I don't know, like, I feel like respectful is the wrong word, but like...
Well, there's already another Supreme Court judge that had sexual allegations against him famously, and he's in there.
Yeah.
So, as far as establishing... I don't know. You know what I'm saying.
I do.
I'm not saying that the entirety of the court is already compromised, but I am saying that there's a level of it that might be, at least on the Republican side. Just objectively. And none of these ever became real allegations. I guess that's another part that bothers me a lot about it. Is that in both scenarios, hey, we won.
Hey, we just won.
Overall, we won.
Your allies invading the other side.
Good for us.
That's never happened for me before.
It hasn't?
I got a trophy.
Hey, congratulations. You're a winner. How's it feel to be a winner?
Feels pretty good.
Yeah? Has it changed your view on the world?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that one guy carried us practically, though.
Yeah. Well, wow. Yeah, I was not a big part of I was not a big part of the team effort there.
But you were a part. But you were. And that does not go without acknowledgement.
A smaller part, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually that kind of worked out time-wise. I mean, we've only got like 2 minutes left, so there's really no point in jumping into anything else.
Oh, perfect. Well, look at that. There is one thing I wanted to bring up, though, very quickly, just to kind of end with then. And I just wanted to say that I really hate that MoviePass went away. It's another big issue of the day. I really wanted to bring it up. I don't know. I miss it every day, Justin. I miss it every day.
So I went to see... What movie did I go to see? Ant-Man and the Wasp. After it had been out for 2 weeks, I went on a Sunday morning at Sunday noontime, the first showing of the day. There was nobody in the theater. Every seat was open. And I went to check in on MoviePass, and that showing wasn't available.
Oh, man.
And
yeah, it went out. It went out bad.
I was like their whole reasoning for not having certain showings available is because they were popular showings. Right. And you can't tell me that noon on a Sunday was a popular showing, because literally empty theater. Luckily, I had enough points on my Regal card. I got a free showing anyway. But as soon as I got in the car after the movie, I canceled my MoviePass. I was done. I'm done with it. Yeah. So mad.
I mean, I canceled it the moment it was clear that it was going out, when they started adding all these rules. But I miss it, is the point. I'm checking out your Orange Ghost, by the way. Just wanted you to know it's very, very tasteful. Looks really good. I miss it so much. It made movies better. I haven't been to a movie since it ended, since I canceled, which is sad. Hopefully that's not, I don't know, a thing now, where I feel like I can't go to a movie because I have to pay for it. What if MoviePass ruined going to the movies for me? Oh, that'd be sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible.
I really hope that's not true. I could talk about that friggin' Supreme Court thing for forever. And I wish I could do it focused. Obviously, my attention split, so I feel like I'm all over the place, which makes me sound like an even crazier person. But
yes, I feel that way too, yeah.
There's just a lot there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. And whatever. I'm glad that we got a little bit of an outlet, however brief, to go on a rant. However political. And that's it. That's the episode. Thanks for
that's the whole thing.
Thanks for streaming gameplay and our crazy thoughts with us. I appreciate it. If you ever want to be a guest on the episode, one of these specifically, let us know. I think the crazier the better. We should just go on like Craigslist and put out an ad for people to be on this episode with us. Just absolute
Could you imagine?
It kind of can. Kind of sounds like it'd be amazing. But at the same time, yeah, no, I don't know. As long as we can do it remotely. I don't want to die. I don't want somebody in the same room as us. You know what I'm saying? This guy gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thanks everyone for listening.
Well, that's the episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for your continued support, and we will see you next time for a more traditional one. Podcast-tober's right around the corner.
It's only 2 episodes away.
Who's excited about that? I am. If you don't know
this guy.
what Podcast-tober is, you should check it out, but it's a thing that we look forward to every year. Kind of a holiday, a Trouble with Words holiday of sorts.
I was thinking about it the other day,
Yeah.
and I know the episode should be over and we should stop talking, but I was thinking about how excited we get for Podcast-tober every year, and I wonder if anybody else does, because to them it's just an episode about a movie they didn't watch.
2 movies. Probably.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, if we got bigger and had like a more of an audience, I think it would be fun to have a Podcast-tober where we have people over to watch the movie and like make it an event. Yeah. But I don't think we're there yet.
I see us in the future at some sort of event where we're filling an entire auditorium, watching horror movies on a stage, making comments while people watch us watch them. That's what I see.
Oh, that sounds terrible. I don't want to do
that either.
All right. Thanks for listening and watching.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.